Hey guys, welcome to Section 6, Chapter 10, Geometry Program. And to finish us off, we're going to talk about the volumes of pyramids and cones in this section. So the volume of the pyramid is very similar to the volume of a prism, but of course we only need a portion of it. So that's given to us by 1/3 big B times h. Now remember, big B for us is the area of the base, and the h, of course, is always the height. So that's going to be the altitude, the line that makes a 90-degree angle with the base, okay? So to start us off, let's look at this example. So we notice that the base is a rectangle because we have different values here, right? 4 and 2, which would make this a rectangular pyramid. And we're going to use our formula, B equals 1/3 area of the base times the height, to be able to find the volume here. Okay, so in order to find the area of the base, I see my rectangle, and in order to find the area of a rectangle, I simply multiply length times width, and then I can go ahead and substitute in my height, right? So my height is given at 5, so then we can clean this up. We get 8 and 5. Okay, and then when you multiply this together, you're going to get 40/3 or 13.33 feet cubed. Okay, whether it wants the exact answer or rounded, you can just read the directions and figure that out. Okay, so next up, we have a pyramid with a triangle, actually a right triangle for our base. So this is a triangular pyramid, and we're going to use our formula, 1/3 area of the base times the height. Again, we're looking for the area of this base, this triangle. The nice thing about having a right triangle and knowing both legs, it means we have both the base and the height of this triangle. So remember that it's 1/2 base, we'll call that 6, and the height of this triangle, let's say that this is 6 and this is 8, right? We can find the area of that by multiplying 6 times 8 and dividing by 2. Now for our formula for the volume, we need the height of the pyramid, which is 12. Okay, so now if we clean this up a little bit, and inside the 1/2 times 6 times 8, that's actually going to give us 24 times 12. And if I multiply this together, I'm going to get 96 kilometers cubed. All right, let's do one more of these pyramids. And this time the variation is that they give us just the side length. So here we have a square pyramid. Notice both my side lengths are the same. But instead of giving us the height of this pyramid, which we need for our formula, they give us L, the slant height. So in order for us to find the height, we actually need to construct a triangle here with a right angle. Here's our height. That's what we need to find. My slant height is given as 25 inches. And then this piece of my triangle is half the side length. So half of 14, of course, is 7. Now, there are a lot of ways in order to be able to solve for h, but probably the easiest in this case is going to be Pythagorean theorem, because we're in this nice right triangle and we have 2 sides. All right, and so if we substitute 7 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared, you're going to get b is equal to 24. And you might have recognized that as a Pythagorean triple. So if you did, hats off to you. Good job. All right, so now we found the height of this thing. It's 24 inches. Now we're ready for our formula. So the volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So the area of the base, of course, is just 14 squared because it's a square. And the height now we found to be 24. All right, and when we multiply that all out, we're going to get like 1,568 inches cubed. All right, so that basically is what you're going to do for the pyramids. Now let's jump over here to cones. So the volume of the cone is very similar, right? The volume is 1/2 the area of the base times the height, but again, just like in our cylinders, our bases aren't changing. They're always circles. So we can actually simplify that formula to 1/3 pi r squared h. So all you need is the height and the radius as shown here. Okay. So we have the volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. And in this picture, the radius is not 20, the diameter is 20, so we need half of that, which is 10 squared, and then the height is 20. So we can plug that in. And if we multiply that together, you're going to get something really ugly, like 2,000 pi. So if you want to convert that to a decimal, you get 2,093.3 kilometers cubed. All right, let's just do one more here. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. The volume is 1/3 pi. The radius, again, is half the 16. And then the height is 16. So when we multiply that together, again, we're going to get something very unpleasant, like 1,024/3 pi, or 1,071.79, something like that, centimeters cubed. Okay, so it's a pretty easy way to end the chapter. When you're ready, finish up your notes, read through the examples, and begin your assignment.